With another topper. This is Divya Ragate. She's got 3rd rank in PGI, 11th rank in DBMIND. Welcome, Divya.
Thank you.
And please introduce yourself and tell a few words about where you're from.
Hello friends, I'm Divya Ragate. I'm from Bangalore Medical College. As sir, I think we can cut it.
It's okay, go ahead.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I secured PGI rank 3 and DBMIND rank 11. I joined Bhatia Regular Institute in March 2018. I started my serious preparation in March. As my internship was very hectic in my college, I could not spend much time with the books during my internship. So my actual preparation started in March, and I have attended all the classes and took all the test series seriously. I have given mocks every month end. Those were very helpful. And I think you should give all the mocks even when you're not prepared. Like even in April and May also you should give mocks, because you know where in which subject you're poor in, which is your good subject, and which subject you have to concentrate more. It will boost up your confidence if you get a good rank. But on the same time, don't get demoralized if you don't get a good rank. Keep giving mocks regularly. And I have taken all the tests, like weekly tests, seriously, and revised one time before giving that test. Like if you have a class on Saturday and Sunday, finish off that subject within 4 days. And like it depends, subject by it depends, but all the minor subjects I think you can easily cover. And before giving the test also, you revise once and give that week's test. And I was able to finish my first reading by August end, and I started my revision in September first week. And I finished my first revision within 50 to 55 days max. And there are times where you feel low and you're not able to study that day, but it's okay. Some days are bad, some days are really good. So it's okay. Just don't lose that track. Keep reading each day.
I think you elaborated perfectly. I mean, beautifully about how you're prepared and how you used to attend the class here.
Yeah.
And the next day you had an entire week before the next weekend class would occur.
Yeah.
So how would you spend your time in those? And how many hours were you studying?
Minimum of 12 hours I have studied during the first 6 months when I have read my first reading. And during the revision time, it used to go till 13 to 13 and a half hours.
Okay.
I used to go in my Bangalore Medical College library, because studying at room for long would be difficult. Yeah.
So basically, how would you spend that entire week? Like you would finish the class, and the day after the class, you would be able to study, or I think you would be fatigued.
Yeah, we would have been fatigued, but at least how much ever possible I was able to read. And it would take minimum of 2 to 2.5 days to finish those notes.
Class notes.
First reading of those notes. And then I used to go to the relevant MCQ topics and solve the MCQs. The theory part is covered mostly in the classes itself. I used to solve MCQs from that. And if something extra was there, I used to add it onto that notes. I had a habit of leaving space in my notes so that I can get time to add it, and because in the end you'll have the notes. Notes is what with you in the end for revision. So you have to compile everything in that book.
Single book.
Yeah, for that subject you're not going to touch anything else in the last week of the exam.
True. So what we have noticed is revising printed stuff is very difficult.
Yeah,
your handwritten
stuff are the ones which will help you in the end.
So you were always a gold medalist, I think, Bangalore Medical College.
Yeah.
Everybody had high expectations. I think you lived up to that expectation. 3rd in PGI.
Yes.
Amazing. I think 11th. How does it feel?
It feels great.
Okay. How actually the whole preparation that we do is to plan for the revision. Like how are you able to handle the revision phase of the?
Yeah, revision is very crucial, because everyone would have given their best in those that 1 week for that subject. Everyone would have given the best, but in the end, when it comes to revision, many fail there. So I think planning revision strategy is very crucial for your good rank. How I decided was I started my revision with the basics. First year and second years I revised first. like anatomy within 5 days, physio within 4 days, biochem within 4 days. All the major ones within 4 days, like even patho, micro and pharma, 4
Your
days.
class notes, right?
Only the class notes in the end. In the revision time, I didn't open any of the MCQ books because I already added whatever stuff was needed. So, for major subjects, 4 to 4.5 days during revision is good. And for minor subjects, I think 1 day would be good.
Okay. How relevant do you think is undergraduate preparation for PG entrance? Or do you think it's a totally different scenario? I mean, you have totally different preparation.
It's not totally different. Obviously, the concepts are the same. It's just that a different approach. Like for a theory exam, it's a different approach. For MCQs, it's a different approach. But ultimately, your concepts are the same. So I think my UG days preparation helped me a lot. It will actually boost up your morale. At this point of time, when there's so much of stress, you have something you can rely upon. Like your UG days, okay, I have that knowledge, I have a grip on that subject. You can rely upon that. I have read all the standard textbooks during my UG days. It was actually really helpful.
What 4 or 5 subjects would you say were most useful for you in cracking these exams?
For PGI especially, biochemistry, microbiology, surgery, medicine, and a bit of physio.
Okay.
These 5 subjects are the chunk.
Okay. How what were you doing the last 8 days before you went for PGI? Did you solve any PGI papers?
Yes. Past 1 week before PGI, I have solved only the mock papers.
Okay. And any author particular?
I think there's only one in market available, Manoj Chaudhary. Good enough, yeah.
Any other tips and suggestions you have for your juniors?
Yeah, just be consistent during your preparation. If you get a bad rank in one exam, don't get depressed or don't underestimate the strength in your inner self. You can definitely do well in your future exams. And I think God is always there. He won't deceive. he won't deceive. Yeah, hard work is always rewarded.
So how are the classes over here? How useful do you find the classes?
Yeah, I think classes here, MCQ is totally a different aspect. Like when you come from the theory part of it. So I think all classes in Bright Institute, they give you a good approach to the MCQs and whatever is needed. Like they don't teach you the unnecessary stuff. They are very much into the recent trend and the recent advances. Like for example in microbiome, like the recent vaccines and NPS and the recent programs. We cannot sit and study all the 1948 or 1950s programs.
Sure.
Whatever is trendy, updated stuff. That is what they teach.
Exams.
Yeah, that is what is asked in the exams, and that is what is taught here.
Okay. Any faculty that you thought were outstanding?
Obviously, you, sir. Medicine, I didn't read anything else other than your notes. And Ashwani sir for anatomy, and Manish Soni sir for dermat, Swati ma'am for anesthesia, Praveen sir for patho, Shivika ma'am for micro, and Saurabh sir for pharma. In fact, all classes were good, so the list goes on.
When you were revising, what were you doing the last 8 days? Like, were you able to read all the subjects, or were you keeping most volatile subjects? Or
I had given so many mocks, and I had noted down in which subject I was weak. Like I used to give a mock, and in that mock there were a question of 10 questions on radio, and if I had got only 4 right, then it is my weak subject. So I used to spend more time with the radio. So there were few subjects like which I was very confident and I didn't even revise in the end, like patho. I had a good grip over patho because reading from Robbins helped a lot for that. So such subjects were within my grip, so those I could rely upon. I recognized my weaknesses and concentrated more on them.
I think the class tests we have in classes are very high competitively. Competitive.
Yeah, they are always on the higher end.
In the last 5 years, I think we've been getting consistently top ranks from our batches in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So in Bangalore, I think if you are in the class test, if you're able to do well, I think national levels you're guaranteed. So how are you performing in the class test?
I was not always the first, but I was somewhere within the top 10.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that in all the mock papers also I was somewhere around 4th and 5th. Never have become 1st or 2nd, but 4 or 5 was my position. Yeah. And that boosted up my confidence. Like
Do you think it's important to attend all classes over here?
Yes, I think, because there are that's what the MCQ orientation itself is different. So if you attend a class, you'll get to know, you'll get oriented towards the MCQs of that aspect. So I think it's good if you attend all the classes.
And you wrote all the tests?
I wrote all the tests.
So I think that's another important thing, that whether you're prepared or not, you need to give the test.
You need to give the test, yeah.
True.
Right from the March, April, May, all monthly mocks are to be given.
So what seat are you planning to take?
Mostly medicine and PGI. Yes.
Fantastic. So we congratulate Divya once again, and I think her performances are amazing. She's always a topper, and I hope the trend will continue in the future also. So best wishes, Divya. I hope you continue to do well. Any final words, any tips that you want to give to your juniors?
Just don't get irritated or frustrated with this period. I know this PG preparation is very much, hectic and you get stressed out. But don't lose hope, don't lose track. Just keep going. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So this is from our.
Thank you, sir.